Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do my full review and wrap up the last of the knives I have here from my buddy Joe. This is the Spyderco Techno 2. All right, this is a cool knife, guys. It's a Spyderco and Marcin Sleesh collaboration knife. He is the guy behind the Sleesh Bowie, which is eminently popular because of Nick Shabazz, and I really think just Nick Shabazz, because it's a really ugly knife that I did not understand the hype on, but he loves it, so therefore all his followers, a lot of them love it, and it blows up. That is the only reason I think that knife is as popular as it is. I hate to say that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Then you have the Spidey Chef, which should really be the crowning jewel of Marcin Sleesh's designs with Spyderco. The Bowie, I don't understand at all. The Spidey Chef is fantastic. That is one of the best knives. Yeah, I love that knife. I need to get one again now that I'm just sitting here thinking about it. I had the Knife Joy Blue one, exclusive one, and I sold it because I got a Waypoint, and I kind of regret it. So I might have to look into that. Anyway, then there's the Techno and the Techno 1. I don't know the order of all these. I think these came first after the Bowie. And then there is now the Swayback, which also does not interest me at all. So I've always wanted to check out the Techno. And real quick, thank you to Joe, my local buddy, who loaned me this. Awesome dude. Really appreciate it. I also did an first impressions and disassembly of this knife. So if you're here to find out how this knife comes apart, goes together, all that good stuff, go check out that video. Yeah. So aesthetically, it's a little turd. It's a little turd knife. It's not very appealing. It kind of has a lizard look to it to me. I always equate knives with animals, and when they have holes, they look more like animals, like birds. So you could be looking at like a very small toucan type bird, or you could be looking at like a lizard of some sort, right? I know that's weird. That's how I think. I love the finish on the titanium. I really do like that about Marcin Sleesh's designs, the way they finish the titanium. Spyderco does. Love the wire clips. I love the fact that all the hardware is identical. Every one of these screws is the same. You could take this screw out and put it in here, take this screw out, put it in here, and swap them, and it would work just the same, no problem. I like that. You're looking at CTS XHP in terms of steel. Sorry, I forgot. It's CTS XHP. It's made by Spyderco, and it is coming out of the Taichung, Taiwan factory. Along with, I think, all of the Sleesh designs have come out of Taiwan. This one has an edge on it from Joe. He has a KME, and he's getting pretty proficient, looks like. It's very sharp. It's very well done. Yeah, very sharp knife. I had enjoyed cutting with it. I can't remember how the paper cut test went when I did the disassembly, but I suck at that, so I wouldn't doubt it being bad. And then, nope, there you go. So, very good. It feels really good. It cut really well when I cut some cardboard and opened some packages just to, test it out and everything. I didn't go crazy with it. I didn't carry it all that much. You can tell I never actually flipped the clip. Never got around to that. And it's a secondary knife, in my opinion. So it was always in my back left pocket anyway, which is basically right-hand carry. So there's no point in me reversing it. Yeah. So that was aesthetics. Let's get into ergos. Again, little bit of a turd knife. You're kind of stuck back here. It has that ergonomic feel of, there's just some knife like that Grissom Riverstone where you're just kind of like stuck in this back grip turd feel. I don't know how to explain it better. And I don't mean that, I guess I kind of mean it in a bad way when I say turd, but that's just kind of like what it feels like. It's like a little chunky turd, right? Whether that's, negative or whatever. It's not going to be positive, but I don't mean it like this knife is a turd, right? I just mean like it feels like you're grabbing a turd. What am I talking about? Oh my god. Okay. Now that I'm done talking about that, yeah, it's just a very small grip back here. You have no choil, which I much prefer on smaller knives like this. Having a choil here would have been great. Yes, you have less edge, but you have more control, I feel like. But for people with small hands, this knife will fit great in your hand and probably feel amazing. I could really see this being a great knife for women or for dudes with really small hands, like Tri-State EDC, you know, because he's like a, you know, 2T t-shirt. He might fit this knife very well. But for me, I can get a grip and then I can ride my thumb almost all the way up to the tip, and I have very good control of it. So it does work for larger hands. It does. And if you have huge hands, you just hang something off, you're still good, right? This right here is still ergonomic in my opinion. And then if you hold it right-handed, yes, you get that clip in your palm a little bit, but it's a wire deep carry clip, does not hurt in any way. So I think the ergos are fine. They're just kind of like small knife ergos, right? It's just what you get into. I showed you the cutting. Cutting's good. Carry, like I said, back left pocket, deep carry, wire clip. Carry's great. Little bit sticks out, no big deal. It's kind of heavy for its tiny size, but it works. It carries good. It's a good carrier. Sounds, yeah. If you clack it out there, it does have good sounds. You're almost bound to close it like a slow roll close, and you just get a little thud. But the opening clack is pretty good. I'd give it probably like a 6 out of 10 because of that clack. All right, so here's the deal. Action. All right, first off, we're dead nuts centered. All right, dead nuts. Let's first talk right-handed. So if you're right-handed, you have a thumb for deployment, and you get your thumb in there, and you flick it out. And the detent, it's a Spyderco, right? So it's going to be that really weak kind of detent that you get with a Spyderco. So you just give it a flick, and it works. The way they angled the hole and all that stuff, so it's vertical. It works, right? You kind of do have to shoot it to the side a little bit, or you're going to end up going right into the scale. So you kind of go out like that. And it works. I'm sure righties enjoy flicking this knife. Now, if you want to Spidey flick it right-handed, you got to bury yourself in this little gap here in the hole and try to flick it. And, man, I can give it a little wrist and get it out, but it is not very fun to do right-handed. I'm also not right-handed, so this could be easier for some people to do. But that is one of the biggest drawbacks to Marcin Slisch designs. All of them have the hole that is half covered by the frame lock. And I think he does that to shrink the knife down so you don't have a giant hole in your pocket, kind of like a Para 3, right? So if you look at a Para 3, the whole hole is exposed, right? That means you can get in there with any finger and flick it out, right? But you have a very tall blade, where on this knife, the hole is covered by the lock bar on that side, so it's a very, it's a much shorter knife overall. I don't know if you can see that there. So you just have less of that hole sticking out, which makes sense in some ways for carry and stuff like that. But for people who like the reverse flick, it sucks for righties. Now, for lefties, if you try to thumb flick it, you have almost no room to get in there, and then you're talking about your thumb now, so you have a bigger finger trying to get in there, and man, I just can't get enough behind it to get it to come out unless I wrist the shit out of it. I'm basically just trying to get it to come out a little bit, and then I'm flicking it out the rest of the way, right? However, being left-handed, you have this portion on the reverse side, so you have a perfect sized hole set up for the reverse flick. So I almost prefer being left-handed with this knife. That's why I love the Spidey Chef, because I love reverse flicking, and that one was set up the same way. And My only problem with it is the way it's designed. I sometimes just don't get it. I missed the flick somehow. I think I hit the frame or something, and it kind of like just come out of the hole, and then it doesn't open, right? But, 90% of the time I'm going to bang it, and if I've carried this knife consistently, I am proficient in doing it. I just understand I got to really go for it, and it bangs out. So the action is okay. It's really kind of disappointing. Now on the close, this is on phosphor bronze washers. On the close, it drops to there. But then you're shaking really hard to get it closed. So it's almost better to let it drop like that and then close it with your thumb like this. That's how I do it. Or you're going to do like a big shake like that. Left-handed, you're going to disengage the lock, push it over, start pulling down, and just do that. You're probably not going to shake. If you do, you're just going to be, giving it a really good shake. Because if you try to do the shaky shakes, it'll take a while, right? So, action is just not very fun on this knife. I can make any action fun. Sabenza I can make fun by just, you learn how it works, you fidget with it and all that, right? I get that. But in terms of what I prefer personally and everything, it's not a good action. It's not fun. I do like the drop, and that's about all I like about it. The thumb flick right-handed is decently satisfying. The reverse flick lefty is kind of annoying because I just don't always nail it, and it just doesn't feel natural to me. So yeah, that's action. So value and overall and all that stuff. It's like $220 I think right now if you want to buy one of these. It's pretty average for a Spyderco Tai Chung Sleesh design. The Spidey Chef is around there. Forget about the Bowie. The swayback is around there. So I think for the steel and the size of the knife, I think it should be cheaper. I think it should be like $150 for this knife in this build with phosphor bronze. But Spyderco is just overcharging for everything, so it's not that bad if you think about it. A Maximate PM2, which is G10, and Maximate, of course, is around the same price. So, I don't know. It's up to you, I think, if the value is there. I don't think, because it's a smaller knife, it should be a cheaper knife necessarily. But, materials and everything, I just think, and the way they're finished, it's just a plain finish and a wire clip. It's not like they went ham on milling and all that shit, right? It's not milled at all. So, I don't know. It does have that mirrored stonewash that you see on Sleesh designs as well, which I guess takes a little bit of work. But can I recommend it? I think if you love the design and you like small knives and you're okay with, a kind of Sabenza-y feel with the action, because honestly, slow roll would probably be a really fun way to operate this if that's what you're into. That's if you're right-handed, right? If you're left-handed, you almost have to love the reverse flick or be okay with this, digging your finger in and trying to pull it out of here. So she said again. So you've seen how it works. It's up to you. I don't really recommend it to anybody. I think it's definitely a knife you have to try before you would buy, because it's just not worth dropping $200 plus and finding out with this one for me. So anyway, that is the Spyderco Techno 2. Thank you again to Joe for letting me check out his knives, and thank you guys for letting me rant and rave as usual. Get it all out of my system. I love you all. Tell me what I said wrong. Tell me why I'm an asshole. I can take it. I will catch you guys on the next one. That just sounded wrong. Just came out wrong. I hope you have an absolute fantastic day. I love you all, and I will catch you later.